Welcome aboard Podcast Cruise, where every episode is a voyage into the unknown. Rather than hearing directly from the individuals themselves, our hosts dive deep into these stories, each one drawn from personal accounts found from various sources. We explore the details, examine the context, and provide commentary to help you better understand these extraordinary experiences. So grab your favorite beverage or set your cruise control to the legal speed limit and journey with us beyond the veil, one episode at a time. Let's welcome our hosts, Jake Hart and Zara Moon, as they dive into captivating discussions and the mysteries that shape our world. You are listening to Podcast Cruise.
Whoa. Okay. Anyone else feeling that energy shift lately? It's like November decided to arrive with a bang this year. But hey, that's why we're here, right? To unpack all of this intensity and figure out how to ride these waves with, well, a little more grace and a little less wipeout.
Definitely a good idea to bring your surfboard for this one.
So we're diving deep into a recent video from the Quantum Alchemist, who, as you know, always seems to have their finger on the pulse of what's happening cosmically. And this month, let's just say they didn't hold back.
No, they did not. Right off the bat, they acknowledged that anxiety many are feeling, and it's interesting how they link that to the current political climate, especially here in the U.S., with the election looming.
Yeah, the whole to vote or not to vote conundrum that seems to be causing some serious internal wrestling for a lot of folks.
Right, and the Quantum Alchemist even admits to feeling it themselves. But they also offer some really solid advice for navigating this pre-election energy.
Yeah, grounding, grounding, grounding. They can't emphasize that enough, right?
Right.
Meditation, breath work, nature walks, anything to help us stay centered amidst the chaos.
It's like they're saying, hey, the world might feel like it's spinning off its axis, but you don't have to go along for the ride.
Exactly. And then they drop this bombshell, describing November as a fiery month full of potential fireworks, unexpected outbursts, and a whirlwind of change.
I think the key takeaway here is that this intensity isn't just limited to the external events happening around us.
Right. It's like there's this internal pressure cooker effect happening as well.
Exactly. All that fiery energy is amplifying our emotions, making us more reactive, more sensitive.
The Quantum Alchemist uses a powerful, if slightly graphic analogy to describe this process. Projectile vomiting.
Whoa, okay. That's a visual for sure.
Right. It's as if all these repressed emotions, hidden truths, shadow stuff, it's all coming to the surface, ready or not.
Which, as you know, ties into the whole Scorpio season vibe. Shadow work central, right? That time of year when we're called to confront those darker, hidden aspects of ourselves.
So it's not just about feeling overwhelmed by what's happening out there, it's about what's being stirred up in here as well.
Exactly. And this leads us to another major theme for November, which, according to the Quantum Alchemist, is all about abuse of power.
Okay, now we're getting into some juicy territory.
They suggest that this dynamic might be playing out on multiple levels, in our personal relationships, in financial systems, and even in societal structures.
Whoa, so it's like we're being asked to look at power dynamics through a whole new lens this month.
It's about recognizing those often subtle imbalances and manipulative tactics that we may have overlooked before.
So how do we start to become more aware of these hidden power dynamics in our own lives?
The Quantum Alchemist encourages us to pay close attention to our relationships. Where do you feel like you're giving your power away? Are there situations where you feel manipulated or controlled? That heightened awareness is the first step.
It's like we have X-ray vision this month, allowing us to see those hidden power dynamics with more clarity, which, to be honest, can be a little unnerving.
It can be. But remember, it's not about placing blame or pointing fingers. It's about recognizing these dynamics so we can make conscious choices about how we want to participate.
And the Quantum Alchemist emphasizes that all of this intense energy, these challenges we're facing, they're actually pushing us towards a crucial crossroads.
Right. It's a time for making some big decisions, setting intentions for the future, really choosing the direction we want our lives to take.
They use the analogy of a GPS system, which I thought was really clever. If our GPS is leading us in a direction we don't want to go, we need to recalculate, right?
Exactly. We're not just passive passengers on this journey. We have the power to choose our destination.
And this is where things get really interesting. They introduce this concept of consciously choosing timelines.
Yeah. Have you ever heard that before?
It's a new one for me. Can you explain what that means?
Sure. Think of it this way. Every choice we make, every thought we have, creates a ripple effect, leading to a multitude of potential outcomes. Right.
Okay, I'm following so far.
Well, the Quantum Alchemist suggests that we have more agency in choosing which of those timelines we experience than we might realize. Our choices, our intentions, our energy, they all play a role in shaping our reality.
So it's not just about passively wishing for a better future. It's about taking ownership of our choices and aligning our energy with the reality we want to experience.
Exactly. It's powerful stuff, right?
Incredibly powerful and a little intimidating, if I'm being honest. Because if we have the power to choose our timelines, doesn't that mean we're also responsible for the consequences of those choices?
That's a great point. And that's where things like self-awareness, intuition, and discernment come in.
So we need to make sure we're not making choices based on fear or ego, but rather from a place of alignment with our highest good and the highest good of all.
Exactly. It's about making conscious, heart-centered choices that lead us toward a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. But how do we actually put all of this into practice? Where do we even begin?
Well, the Quantum Alchemist uses a really intriguing term to encompass the overall theme of November: radical transformation.
Radical transformation. Does that go beyond simply setting intentions or making different choices?
Definitely. Think of it as a process of shedding old patterns, beliefs, and even karmic ties that no longer serve us.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this radical transformation.
Well, they talk about clearing our karmic balance sheet.
Karmic balance sheet. That sounds intense.
It is. They actually use the analogy of debits and credits, kind of like balancing the books of our soul.
So, like, what kind of debits are we talking about here?
Think of it as all those negative patterns, limiting beliefs, maybe even past life stuff that's been weighing us down. It's like we're being given the opportunity to clear all that out and make space for something new to emerge.
Wow, okay. I think we need to take a break and really let that sink in. We'll be back in a moment to explore how this radical transformation might be showing up in our lives. All right, we're back and ready to delve deeper into this radical transformation the Quantum Alchemist keeps talking about. It's heavy stuff, but also kind of exciting.
Right, like a cosmic clean slate almost.
Exactly. So where do we even begin to clear this karmic balance sheet?
Well, the Quantum Alchemist places a lot of emphasis on heart healing this month. Actually, they lead a guided meditation in their video specifically for heart chakra activation.
You know, it's funny you should mention that. All that talk about healing old wounds, especially from childhood, like abandonment, betrayal, neglect, that really resonated with me.
Yeah, makes sense, right? Given the whole Scorpio season energy, it's all about diving deep into those emotional waters, bringing those hidden wounds to the surface so we can finally heal them.
Okay, so it's like this month is kind of forcing us, whether we like it or not, to face those parts of ourselves we've been trying to avoid.
Exactly.
Oh.
And as uncomfortable as that can be, the Quantum Alchemist reminds us that this process is essential for our spiritual growth. They even mention doing group work, focusing on healing those specific wounds: abandonment, betrayal, rejection, the wounded masculine and feminine narcissistic dynamics, all of that. It's powerful stuff.
Intense, for sure. But imagine the freedom that comes with finally breaking free from those chains we've been carrying around.
Now you're getting it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just individual healing either. The Quantum Alchemist talks about the collective karma that's being cleared right now. Ancestral wounds, bloodline patterns. It's like we're all doing this work together, supporting each other's healing in a way.
Wait, so it's not just me feeling extra raw and vulnerable. There's a larger energetic shift happening that's impacting everyone.
Exactly. It's like we're all in this together, navigating these rough emotional waters. And as we each do our own individual work, we actually contribute to that collective healing. It's like this beautiful ripple effect.
Okay, I'm starting to feel a little more hopeful. But how do we actually do this heart healing work? I mean, the Quantum Alchemist talks about dropping our shields and receiving divine love, but what does that even look like in our everyday lives?
Well, it starts with self-awareness, right? Becoming conscious of those wounds we carry, the patterns that keep us stuck, and the ways we might be blocking ourselves from receiving love.
It's about getting real with ourselves, even when it's uncomfortable.
Yes. And then it's about cultivating practices that support heart opening and self-compassion. Forgiveness, gratitude, loving kindness meditations, connecting with nature, all that good stuff.
They actually lead a heart-centered meditation in their video, all about connecting with that divine energy. Our higher selves, spiritual guides, even angels. Pretty powerful.
It sounds like it. And it reinforces the idea that we're not alone on this journey, right? We have
Right.
access to guidance and support from the universe every step of the way.
The Quantum Alchemist even says, "You are divine beings of light, pure source energy running through your veins." It's a beautiful reminder of our inherent worthiness.
So important to remember, especially when we're doing this deep inner work. It's easy to get lost in the darkness. So that reminder that we're inherently connected to love and light, that's powerful.
Okay, so heart healing, acknowledging our wounds, cultivating self-compassion, and opening ourselves up to receive that divine love. This actually ties in nicely with the idea of stepping into the unknown, which we talked about earlier.
Oh yeah, totally. Opening our hearts, it makes us feel vulnerable. It requires us to let go of control and trust that we'll be okay, even when we don't have all the answers.
And the Quantum Alchemist acknowledges that. There's fear that comes with moving beyond those comfort zones.
Right. It's kind of like repotting ourselves, like you would with a plant that's outgrown its pot.
I like that analogy.
It needs that bigger space to thrive, in the same way we have to create that space for ourselves to grow.
So true. Sometimes we resist change even when we know it's good for us. The Quantum Alchemist even says our guides might be trying to get our attention, maybe even kicking and screaming to get us to listen.
Right. But those moments of discomfort, that's often where those breakthroughs happen.
So it's about paying attention to those inner whispers, those nudges, even when they push us beyond our comfort zone. Which brings us to that final piece of this November puzzle, reconnecting with our dreams, our desires.
Because what's the point of all this healing and transformation if it doesn't lead us to a life we love?
Right. We need to dust off those old vision boards, tap back into that childlike sense of wonder and possibility.
Absolutely. November's energy supports aligning with our soul's purpose and manifesting our true potential.
So it's about taking action and trusting that the universe will support us, even when things feel uncertain.
Exactly. And that requires a willingness to surrender, to trust that we're being guided, even when we can't see the whole picture.
Which, let's be honest, can be a tough one for a lot of us. We want control, certainty, all that.
It's true. But remember what the Quantum Alchemist said. The magic is in the unknown. They even remind us, we really grow in the unknown, not in the comfort zone.
So embracing the discomfort, the uncertainty, that's actually the key to unlocking our growth.
And honestly, what's more empowering than knowing that we have the ability to create a life that aligns with our soul's desires?
So November, it's not just about weathering the storm, it's about harnessing this energy for radical transformation, heart healing, and reconnecting with those big, beautiful dreams.
It's about consciously choosing the timelines we want to experience, creating a future that reflects our highest potential.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a mix of excitement and overwhelm. This November energy is intense.
It is a lot to take in, but remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Be kind to yourself, take it one step at a time, and trust that you're exactly where you need to be. We'll be back with part 3 to explore some practical ways to navigate this energy and create that life you desire.
All right, deep breaths, everyone. We're back for the final part of our deep dive into this intense November energy. So much to process, right? It's like we've been on a roller coaster ride through the cosmos.
Seriously, from grounding techniques to heart healing to choosing timelines, it's a lot.
But it's also empowering, wouldn't you say? Like, we're being given the tools and the knowledge to really step up and become conscious creators of our reality.
Yeah, it's like the Quantum Alchemist is giving us a masterclass in navigating this wild ride. And they offer some really practical advice for putting all of this into practice. Like they keep emphasizing those grounding techniques.
Right. Grounding, grounding, grounding. Meditation, breath work, being in nature, getting creative. They mention it all.
Yeah, finding what works for you, right? What brings you back to center when everything feels like it's spinning.
A long walk, a hot bath, listening to music, anything that helps you reconnect to that inner peace. And remember, even just a few minutes every day can make a difference.
Consistency is key. The Quantum Alchemist also talks about communication, not just with others, but with ourselves and the universe.
Communication with the universe. Okay, I'm intrigued.
They actually encourage us to talk to the universe, to say what we want, where we want our lives to go. They even call the universe our partner in crime in this whole creation process.
Love that. So, like, we're not just sending out these vague wishes into the void. We're actually having a dialogue.
Exactly. It's a partnership, which means clear communication is key. We define what we want, we identify those steps we can take, and then we trust that the universe is going to meet us halfway.
Okay, I can get behind that, but it also means we have to do the work, right? The inner work, the healing, the letting go of those limiting beliefs.
Absolutely. It's about aligning our energy with what we want to create And this is where that whole radical transformation comes into play, right? Shedding those old layers, those patterns that no longer serve us, and stepping into a more authentic, empowered version of ourselves.
Like hitting that reset button, clearing out the clutter to make space for something amazing.
Right. And it's not just individual either, remember. We talked about that collective shift that's happening too.
Yeah.
Clearing that collective karma, those ancestral wounds.
It's like this massive cosmic cleanse we're all going through together.
Messy, but ultimately leading us toward a higher vibration. It's almost like we're prepping for a new era, a new way of being in the world.
This whole deep dive has given me so much to think about. It's a lot to process, but there's also this sense of hope, of optimism that's emerging.
Yeah, I feel it too. Even amidst all the chaos and uncertainty, we have the power to choose love,
Yeah.
to choose growth, and to co-create a future that reflects our highest aspirations.
So November, it might be intense, fiery even, but it's also a time of immense potential. Transformation, awakening, choosing our timelines, all of it.
And as we navigate these energies, let's remember the Quantum Alchemist's advice.
Hmm.
Be present. Stay connected to our hearts. Stay grounded. We've got this. It's all part of that journey of becoming, and we're in it together.
Well said. So, to our listener, we invite you to embrace the power of this month. Listen to your intuition, take care of yourself, and trust that you have the strength to handle whatever comes your way. This is your time to shine.
Until next time, may you find peace, clarity, and inspiration on your journey.
Thank you for cruising with us on Podcast Cruise. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us bring you more intriguing and thought-provoking podcasts. Stay curious, and we'll see you on the next adventure.